All right, welcome to the final weeks of Concept Art 2. I just wanted to let you guys know it's been a pleasure having you guys here. It's been really nice checking out your work, seeing what you guys do, how you guys do it, your thought process, and I really liked a lot of the designs that I saw. I liked a lot of the characters. Some of you guys do have some really good ideas and really good talent. So for the final, couple of weeks, I wanted to introduce you guys to the final project of the course, which is to create either a character or an environment. You can use either what you have had before, which is why we've done a lot of thumbnails. If you've been following the assignments, you should have, 50, 60 thumbnails by now. So you can pick from one of those or you can design a new one. You just have to pick one and then take it all the way through the process that we've worked throughout this entire course. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the final project. I also did want to say happy Thanksgiving in advance if I don't get a chance to tell you guys that happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays. The holidays are right around the corner. So I want you guys to take this as a culmination of all of your hard work and just kind of reflect on some of the stuff that you guys have gotten to do. If you've noticed, the pace of this class is a little faster than most. It's a little more rapid. You guys have had, almost a quiz every week. You've had an assignment every week. You've had drawings that you've had to complete. And the reason I try to push you guys so much and push a lot of the work is I want you guys to feel a monicum of the pace that you might have to deal with in the real world. And with the advent of AI, it just gets harder and the competition just becomes much more stiff, right? There's always the next man up. There's always somebody out there who's trying to get better, who's trying to take your job, who's trying to take your place, who wants to be faster, who wants to be better, who wants to understand colors more, who wants to understand design more, tone more, mood more, So I want you guys to get in the habit of learning, pushing yourself. Don't stop learning, right? This isn't where you go, okay, I finished the class, that's it. If you really want to be a concept artist, if you want to be a design person, if you want to be anything, you just have to keep pushing on. Keep practicing. Don't forget about your fundamentals, right? I talked about drawing through your shapes, drawing through everything. It's important because it gives you that kind of third eye to see behind your characters, to see behind the shape, and then tell a story, right? We all have a story to tell, and that's one of my bigger hopes for you guys is that you can use your characters to tell whatever stories are in your heart, in your mind, in your head that you want to get on canvas, you want to get out to the world, right? Don't be afraid to tell your story. Don't be afraid to get your story out there, right? You don't know who's going to want to hear it. You don't know who needs to hear it. So don't sell yourself short. Don't put limits on yourself as to what you think you can and can't do, because both those people are right. If you think you can't do it, you're right. If you think you can, you are right as well, because you'll find a way. Where there's a will, there is a way. I'm extremely excited. I'm extremely blessed to have you guys in my class, and I appreciate the hard work that you guys really did put in. And I know it was tough at times because I know you guys are juggling a bunch of classes as well, but sometimes you juggle a lot to see what you can really push. You juggle a lot to see what your limit is and how far you can go as an individual. And you'll be surprised to see how much you can do as a single person. You'll be surprised as to how much you can learn as a single individual, right? There's so much that you guys can do. There's so much potential in all of you. I just want you guys to stop selling yourself short. You would be so surprised as to all of the things, you think, oh man, I'm about to pass out and I need to sleep. No. You can push an extra hour. You'll be surprised that if you just give yourself that little bit of push, you give yourself that little bit of energy, it will pay off, right? And I surprise myself sometimes. I'm like, oh, okay, I was able to do that. And that gives you the confidence to do a little more. All right. And I hate to be all preachy and, philosophy, and philosophize. I don't even know the proper term for it. I say all that to say, I wasn't the best artist in my class. I wasn't the fastest. But what I did know was I wanted to be the best at what I did, which was 3D modeling, understand it forward, backwards, under, inside, out, and to be able to create anything that I want to create without any limits. I want to say, all right, I want that. I can create that. That was my goal. That was my personal goal to myself. And like I said, I know like there's some artists that I know that I'm just like, yo, this guy is fan freaking tastic. The bee's knees, right? But they might not be able to sell a single copy of their art. They might not be able to sell or put food on their table using their art. I have been able to not only monetize my art, sell my products, make books off of the artwork that I do, make toys off of it. I've able to kind of start building a community and start to use it to kind of supplement some of my income. So I want you guys to believe that you can do whatever you want. You can make your comic book, you can make your cartoon, you can make your animation, right? There's a lot of tools out there that if you just learn the tools and you learn the principles and you learn the basics, that you can go very, very far as a single, duo, trio, 4-man artist team, right? Smaller teams are doing much more because the tools have become more egalitarian, right? They've become more accessible to all of us. And it's important that you guys don't forget that you can take advantage of all of these. You're still students now, so you have the ability to get free software. That's something that a lot of people don't have, right? Free tutelage. That's something a lot of people, there's resources for you. You guys have all of it at your fingertips now. Please, please, please don't let that fly by the wayside. Don't waste your opportunity to really change what you're doing. And if this is what you want to do, make it your thing. All right. So for this final piece, I want you guys to either, let's go to, so for your final project, you can find it on Brightspace. All right. So if you go to Brightspace, you go into your content. It's on week 13. And in Concept Art 2, you will develop a professional quality concept piece. Before moving into the final production, you must submit a final project proposal outlining your idea, your goals, references, and the workflow that you plan to use. This proposal serves as your pre-production blueprint, ensuring that your work is clear, achievable, and aligned with industry standards. All right. So you must choose one of the following tracks. Either you, option A, create a character concept. So you design a fully developed character, whether he's the hero, the villain, the NPC, maybe a creature. It goes on and on, including the story role, silhouette explorations of the character, design iterations, costume references, and personality-driven choices. I'm a 3D guy, so a lot of my concept stuff is 3D related, and I'd love to show you guys one of my characters. I'll show you a lot of my characters. But so this is Pippi the Planet. He's from my YouTube show where I teach kids ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, the basics, all that fun stuff. And recently I've started creating some accessories for him. So now he's got like a map. He's got magnifying glass that he uses to check things out and go on his adventures. He's got binoculars, and then he's got a stand. And the cool thing about all of this stuff, guys, is because I 3D created all of it, I was able to 3D print my character as well. So he's got like his little stand that he can stand on, which is pretty cool. All right, he's got his stand, and he has a backpack somewhere. He has like a backpack, and he has I've printed all of those accessories out. So these are his like binoculars that he uses to see, right? My impetus for creating this was my daughter loves YouTube content, so I wanted to give her something educational. And that was my motivation, right? Like with that, I just kind of ran with it. And I was like, all right, I want to teach her this, 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 and this. What would be the most fun kind of characters that would do that? So I created the Planeteers. The Planeteers include Pippi, Sunny, then there is Lunar, Asteroid, and then there's Starshine. Right, Starshine, she kind of glows. And then there's Rocket, their robot kind of helper. He's got like some layer shift problems whenever I did the 3D print, but I still like the character. All right. So I want you guys to believe that you can create everything that you want. You can do this, right? It's going to take you some time. It's going to take learning some different programs, some different software, but you can create your own universe. You can create your own show. You can create your own toys, right? You know, the process has become so much easier than when I started that I couldn't have imagined doing all the stuff that I've done with the time that I've had. So this is my character. This is Pippi the planet. And as you guys can see, there's been a lot of iterations of them, right? Like there's been a lot of iterations of Pippi and the Planeteer. So like this is the full form of Pippi, like, right? This is the big one. And then they go into like these chibi style. And then I've upgraded these, right? Like over time. So they started off like this. And then by this time here, I needed them to be 3D printed, so I couldn't use the same kind of arm structure that I had for them back here. So it was a lot of trial and error, right? It wasn't a success every single time, right? I failed a bunch, I messed up a bunch of stuff. That's why you see all these floating heads, characters that have never been introduced, right? Like this character doesn't exist. I don't know what to call them or use them for yet. But here's Rocket. Rocket's kind of like their car. He's a robot pal, but he changes into all sorts of different characters for the show's purpose. He can be like the submarine. He can be like a race car. He can be the rocket ship, right? And he helps them on their adventure. And that's what you see here. So this is him as a submarine, and it's also 3D printable. He can turn into a race car, and then he can turn into like kind of like a tugboat if he needs to, and then he can even turn into like a pirate ship or something like that. So the idea is that I created my own universe, and then these are like these boxes help if you have like a mystery. What's in the mystery box? So like I also have these 3D printed as well. So I just want you guys to know, man, it's all possible, right? It's all super possible. You just have to believe that what you're doing is worthwhile. Like, don't listen to the outside noise. The reason people tell you that you can't do something is because they've never seen it done before. And if they can't see it be done, or if they can't imagine that somebody can do it, then they don't think you can do it too. So don't let anybody say, oh man, there's no way you can do that. Yeah, you can. You need some time, some patience, and some effort, right? So that's what I want you guys to keep in mind whenever you guys are doing all your stuff. So I have all my characters. They have bases. They have their accessories. He's got like the camera and the compass. And, this is me iterating on the design because when I first originally did the backpack, so I'm just giving you guys a process, right? So when I first did the backpack, I would make it so that everything was one solid piece. But can you guys hear that? So those are supports. So when you 3D print something, it requires you to 3D print with supports. And these supports printed on the inside. So there's no way I could access the supports. Now the supports are like stuck in there. So it was like poor design, poor execution. It was like good design, poor execution. So I was like, you know what? Got to go back to the drawing table. Hence we get the open base. Now I can easily access those supports, get them out of there, and I'll still have a backpack that you can toss stuff into. So the end process would be you just glue these pieces together, and you can even make like a locking mechanism. So there's a lot that like this, your concept art kind of turns into, and that's what I want you guys to see is like there is an end, there is a reason, there is a rationale for all of this stuff. Like there is a rhyme to the madness, right? When you create your characters, when you're using follow through, when you're drawing your shapes out, you're understanding your forms, your tone, your mood, right? All of these things kind of feed into each other, right? And so like some of these are like big wearable accessories for like little kids. So like I wanted to do one for my daughter. And like I told you, my daughter has been like the impetus. Like I'm telling you, get yourself a reason, like understand your why you do something, and you'll never need motivation. If you have a strong enough why you're doing something, I'm telling you, you'll be so surprised as to what you can do, what you're willing to stomach, right? Like when you're down and you're like, oh man, I can't do it. And you remember, she would love this, or my mom would dig this. Like it will literally, you won't even need motivation, like, because motivation fades, like, like that excitement that you first get, like, ooh, I want to do this and then that shit fades so fast, right? And what's left after that is you. And you have to then develop discipline. You have to then develop that discipline to see your projects and see your stuff come true. So yeah, so like, all of this stuff, I like, the thing is, I print out 2 sets of everything. So like, I have one, my daughter has one, because like, if I only printed out 1 set, I would never have a set. So it's really fun, right? This field is really, really cool, and I want you guys to get the most out of it that you possibly can, right? This industry has given me so much of the life that I have to be thankful for, that I think that it can do so much for you guys as well. And I appreciate you guys being in this class. I appreciate you, like I'm telling you, I appreciate you guys doing the work. I appreciate you, even if your work looks like crap, the fact that you put pen to paper, you attempted it, that's a win for me. I'm not going to be one of those perfectionist teachers. None of us are perfect. We are not perfect beings. We are, the beauty of being human is our pursuit of perfection, right? That's one of my true beliefs, is that none of us are perfect, but what makes us human, what makes us awesome, right? What makes the human experience worth living is that a attempt to chase perfection. We will never reach it, but it's damn sure fun to try. Right? So like, it's fun for me. This was a happy accident. Like Eclipso. So this is Eclipso, right? Eclipso is our anti-hero. He's the opposite of Pippi. Anytime something good is happening, Eclipso comes and ruins it. Or Eclipso, on one of the episode, he unleashes bugs all over the planetarium, and you have to help the kids, and they'll count the bugs and try to get them back into the to their terrarium or whatever, right? So he's a chaos monster, essentially. He's a chaos planeteer, and that's what's fun about Eclipso. And he was a happy accident, because what happened was, I put Pippi in the print cycle. I had sent him through Bamboo Labs, and he's going to the print cycle. And what happened was, in the Bamboo settings, you have to set what color is for what. But you have to do it every time you do a new print. I thought, I've already set it for the first print of Pippi, so it should be cool, and I'll just send it again. And I didn't check. This is learning experience. And what happened was, well, Eclipso was born. It switched out all the colors. So it switched out the colors for the laces, the planet side, the water, the land masses, right? So it switched out all the colors, and my daughter went crazy. She loved Eclipso, because like, it was Pippi but different. And I was like, we really don't have a villain in the story. We don't have an anti character, the antagonist that's gonna push the narrative along or present conflict for the group. So Eclipso was born, and that's why he has a wrench, because he throws a monkey wrench into all of their plans, right? Like, this is obviously after the fact that he was created, but like, this is part of the beauty of creating stuff, right? I believe that as a creator, we have this innate storytelling gene in us, right? Like, we want to tell our story, we want to get our point of view across, and the way we do that is through our drawings, our storytelling, our sculpting, our designs, right? That's how we get a little bit of us out there. So, that's the story of the Planeteers. And, Asteroid is usually like the grumpy one, but he's, he usually goes along with the program. He's not a chaos agent actively trying to mess things up for you. So, that's the fun part of it. And then there's Rocket, and he, in here is usually where he'll keep all of his gadgets and stuff, and a little arm comes out, and, he can give you a toolbox, and your toolbox, he'll give you all you need in there, and your helpful hints or whatever, you need to finish the the episode or the conflict that you need to resolve. So, and that's the thing. So here's a breakdown sheet of that I'm talking about. Here's kind of what I'm talking about. So another thing I did was I made a breakdown sheet of what the mouth would look like, what the head would look like, a turnaround for Pippi, right? Eyes, nose, mouth, the body shape, the legs separated together. These kind of things help the artist, help whoever's going to either design it, sculpt it, animate it, do whatever with it. They'll know what the pieces are, what they're intended to do, how they're going to fit together into the story. So that's why I always try to get you guys, hey, create a character sheet, right? These things will help you iron out a lot of things and details that you might not be thinking about. All right. And I design a lot of my stuff in 3D. So like I think in 3 dimensions, I draw in 3 dimensions, right? Like that's just how my brain has been. I had to teach myself to do that because that's not how my natural inclination was. I had to teach myself and force myself to start doing that. But once you start doing it, it's hard to undo. Trust me. So, and then these are like the boos. I don't know if I probably showed you guys the boos before, but okay, is there? Oh, they do. Okay, they're animated too. So the boos are animated. I didn't remember that, but I don't remember some of this stuff. Like I've done so long ago that I don't remember what I did to them. So like this was like for a Halloween special episode. So the boos would sing and dance and have fun with the kids. That's the point. All right. So this is like the character side. So if you were going to create a character, you're going to want to create the character, the accessories, call outs, things like that, right? What makes the character tick? Who's the character? And then if you have the time, make yourself a turnaround, right? This will help you understand your character. Front, side, three-quarter back, and then back, right? Then you can break down the limbs, call out for the head, call out for the eyes, call out for the lips, the mouth, the body, right? Things like that really do help you and whoever's going to take over the project understand what's going on with your story, with your character, how you want it to be presented. All right. So that is it if you're doing the character. All right. So the next part of it is option B is you design a cinematic environment, interior or exterior, including the mood, story moment, key landmarks, composition ideas, and the visual references. All right. So for that, I'll show you the environment for the show. So let's continue. Okay. Oops, it's going to take a second. All right, so for the environment for the show. So let's go while it loads. I'll dip back into that. So what you're going to want to submit is your final project proposal, the choices that you've made, and indicate whether you're going to be creating the character or the environment concept. All right. So a project summary, 3 to 5 sentences, nothing too long. I don't want to read a dissertation about why you chose this character. Like my lore is very big and broad and things like that, but I don't want to hear about I'm joking. I do want to hear about your lore. If you want to make it a paragraph long, that's fine. That's perfectly fine. I understand we get passionate about our projects and our personal things. So definitely feel free to tell me about the theme, the setting, the story moments, the function, the mood, the tone, why the concept is interesting to you, or what's going to be challenging about it, what you think you're going to encounter when you're working on it. Something that, maybe like you would like to make it a moving, an animated 2D character. Oh, well, eventually I'd like to take it in a cartoon animator and animate it, right? Something that will be challenging, that will push yourself, to make it better. All right. So you also want to put your visual reference board. I use PureRef. Like I said, PureRef is free of charge. You go to pureref.com. I'm going to put that here. So you get a PureRef board going. You can also use Trello or one of the other organizing tools that exists in the world, right? So you want a collection of 10 to 20 images showing the inspiration, the style, the shape language, clothing, architecture, color palettes, lighting, mood, props, or accessories that might go along with your story or your character, your environment, or your character. So then you want to add your research notes. So a brief written notes explaining what you learned from your reference, including the art style influences, the real world inspiration, if it's historical, cultural, nature, architecture, a comic, cartoon, if it's an anime you watched, if it's, live action that you saw, something in the real world that you saw that inspired you to do it. So your design direction, like what way do you want to go? How do you want to pursue it? Is it going to be realistic? Is it going to be 2D? Is it going to be 3D? Is it going to be animated? Is it going to be, in gauze? Is it going to be in charcoal, right? Like what's your medium? What are you going to do? So any visual rules you plan to keep consistent, right? For me, right, you can see with my characters, right, consistency is they all have the same eyes, kind of cheeks, and their shoes look very similar, right? You want to keep a similar visual style. If it's anime, all your characters got to be anime. If it's like Family Guy style, all your characters got to be Family Guy. If it's South Park style, all your characters got to be South Park style, right? Keep it consistent. All right, and then what are your thumbnails? Like I said before, if you have thumbnails that you've done, which you should, and you should have turned in, then use your thumbnail. Show me which one you've picked. If you've already done one before, pick another one that you want to explore, right? This can speed up you getting into that final stage as well. Same for environments. I've seen a lot of environment thumbnails that you can then take to the next level and then start to polish and then bring to life, right? So yeah, like your thumbnails, they don't need to be polished. Your silhouettes, they don't need to be just focus on the big shapes, readability, and then variety if you're starting from scratch. All right, and then your submission requirements are either a PDF or image or PNG, and a written document with what you've done, how you chose what you chose, where you're gonna go, your process, and things like that. And I want you guys to get into this habit and this process habit, because that's what's gonna require for you to be in the real world. Is every Monday, like when I was working at Picture Plane, every Monday they'd sit us down. You grab your coffee, sit down. Hey, what did you do last week? What's your plan for today? What's your plan for this week? Hey, are we on any projects? If you're not on a project, you're getting assigned to a task. You're getting assigned to a project. You're finishing up on here. You need to go to here. Hey, we need the concept art to be finished and roughed out so that the 3D guys can start on it. The 3D guys, hey, if you're finished with your 3D modeling part, send it to the finishing department so they can do the materials and the renders. Hey, material and rendering guys, hey, it needs to go back to the original. So, because in the studio, I don't know if this is in every industry or every studio, but in the studio, some of the guys who started the design, right, the concept guys, did a lot of the finishing. So we'd send it back to them when we've done all the base renders out of 3ds Max and V-Ray at the time. Now I use Arnold because I'm civilized. And they would then take it and do their paint overs, add the zhuzh, the je ne sais quoi, the finishing touches of it. And these guys are masters at this, right? A lot of the stuff that you see on packaging, right? Like the packaging for a lot of toys and stuff. Like, I'll show you, like, let me see if I have one that has some pretty interesting packaging on it. So, like, yeah, let me grab this. Oh, this is purple. So something like this, right? Like, so like everything is Star Wars, I know, but something like this, right? It would go through a bunch of departments. They design it. They would design then the top, the side, the back, the bottom, and then it would go back to whoever needs to finish it out. And then the label department probably has to do something on it, right? Like, so, like, let's see, what's a cool cover? Let's see if this Gears of War covers out. Yeah, I like this one. And then let's see which one has a 3D. Comic books run a little different because a lot of it's line work, but a lot of this has to be 3D, right? Like they have to be, probably somebody is doing like the 3D layout. Somebody probably drew the pose out originally, right? Drew it out like a quick sketch, quick thumbnails. They probably presented the studio, whoever, 4 or 5 ideas. All right, she's sitting here. Maybe she's over one of the grunts. She's shooting them down. Maybe that's another idea. Or maybe she's got one where she's got the gun in the air or something like that. All right, the art director says, actually, we want something like she's chilling. I like the one where she's just sitting back on a pile of monsters and rubble and stuff like that. Go with that one. That then goes straight to the modeling department or the character department or whatever. They flesh it out. Well, sometimes I'll get like just a 3D character, right? And then I got to do the posing. I got to do the, base renders out and then send it back to them. Then they'll draw over it. All right, move her like this way. Move her, boom, foreshorten this. We need the gun to be a little bigger. Make her hand, you'll get literally it'll be a PDF and it's just got red. It's just got a bunch of red all over it because they've marked it up with a bunch of notes of what they need you to fix. You go back, you fix that, you send it back. All right, you go, all right, is this cool? Perfect. Looks awesome. That rarely happens. It never happens the first time. It has to go back for a bunch of changes. But that's okay. We'll pretend like that's how it worked. It comes back and they go, all right, cool. All right, modeling department. Finish this out. You add the textures, you add the lighting, you add everything. As close as you can get to it being finished without it being finished. Then you send it back to those guys and they go, all right, here you go. Enjoy. Did my thing. What do you think? They go, this is cool, man. Let's finish it up. They'll do the line work. They'll do the finishing. They'll probably add like the smoke effect, the rubble in the back. They'll add some like slime to his teeth if it's not done in pre-production. They'll do all the extra fun stuff, all the extra finishing touches to the cover, and then you can send it to the client. Then the client has to approve and go, yay or nay. And that's how it works, right? And scene. That's usually the pipeline of a project. Let's see if my environment has come to life. All right, so the newest episode we're going to be dealing with is like colors. It's going to be teaching kids about colors, and then the Planeteers are going to start off, and then they're going to go through this forest of colors and learn about different things, and there's going to be a rainbow and things like that. So it's going to be a fun experience for kids. There's going to be music that goes along with it and things like that. So like I said, I've just been slowly but surely creating these kind of areas. So like there's the deserty canyon area. There's the icy forest area, right? And then there is this kind of circus town area. All right, circus town. Ooh. So like there's a circus. Like this is going to be the Shape Circus. I just released one of the songs from the Shape Circus. It's currently on TikTok, on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere right now. It's doing okay. It's got like a couple hundred views on TikTok. It's not doing really well on YouTube, but it's been doing pretty well on TikTok so far. So that's a blessing, right? Like that, but you never know until you try. So that's the circus, and then we've got, like I showed you guys before, Sky Kingdom. I might move Sky Kingdom to the other side. Just because every time I do a shot from the planetarium, which is like the home base, you can see it in the back. And I don't know if I like that yet, but I might do it. So it's the Playful Planet Kids show. And one of the things is, like, for the longest time, these were just like rectangles. And then over time I textured it, right? So it's not I sat there for one day and everything was done. And, that's not how it happens. It's iteration. It's the process of going through. You find a place you like, right? Like yesterday I spent my time dealing with, the pond area right here, right? Like sometimes I have to go minuscule right? So I had to focus on this pond area because I didn't like the reflection that I was getting out of the water. I didn't like the reflection of the trees around this, and I needed this for an episode. So I just kind of worked on refining some of these areas, right? And that's part of it, right? Like it was really bare, so like these rocks didn't exist, right? So it was just this kind of jaggy pattern. This is cool for start, but the moment you start rendering, you start noticing some things that you can do better, right? So that's, for me, that's the beauty of working in 3D, is like I can think, make it, have it look a certain way, and if I don't like it, I can change it, and then it's permanent, and then I can still keep iterating on it. And it's like, like it's one of those, it feels like a forever project, but trust me, there is an end in mind, right? Like the moment that I finish creating all of this stuff, I can move on, right? Like I think I'll be satisfied, right? So like right now this leads you here. There's going to be some sort of activity. I haven't even thought of what's going to happen here, but I know the journey's going to be cool, like, and that's the part of the story for me. It's like getting to create these fun moments, these fun experiences for my daughter, and hopefully my son will eventually enjoy it too. So like, yeah, like there's even, the little pirate cove, and the pirates are going to steal something, and you're going to have to go get the Pippi and the Planeteers are going to have to get it back and learn about seafaring along the way, right? There's going to be the pirate town where, people are and do business and things like that. There might be like some bazaars, a little town structure around here. And I really do like this motif that I've been doing where everything kind of starts in this kind of circular area. So it gives them kind of like a point of focus for every area, right? I try to do that where you get this kind of circular feature. And that's like one of the things I talk about: consistency. What's going to be consistent about your piece, right? So something circular that they can land on. It's aesthetically pleasing. You get something that, works, and you can keep moving with that. So like even with the base, you can see you land here. This is where the farm animals go. This is the playground. This is the garden where, I did an episode where you learn about butterflies and the process of them going from caterpillars all the way to butterflies, the songs, the episode. And sometimes I'll just do stills to use for background shots, and currently it's not even a 3D show, right? It's not like a fully 3D show. There was a time when it was a 3D show where it was like a Coco Melon, not in style, but like how the characters look and move around. But now it's mostly a 2D show, and I've realized people really dig the 2D show more than the 3D, because the 3D I couldn't execute it very well. If I'm being honest with myself, I was not able to execute the 3D at the level, right? Rendering, animation, and all that stuff. Like it would take a team of like 20 people. I can safely probably say like 20 people to really, if I really want to do a 3D show. But I use this for stills. To, I'll do like simple pans. I'll render that out. I can bring that into my my 2D compositing software, and then I use that to composite the characters and things like that. So I'll render a lot of these guys out as 2D characters, and then I animate them in a 2D program. So that's the process for that. And I just wanted to get you guys to kind of see what you guys can really start to do is, you can really go from, hey, I have an idea for a concept, to, hey, I've got a toy now that I can sell. And it's kind of cool because it's kind of like a fidget. So I designed it so, like, you can see there's a socket in here for his arm. So now his arm moves kind of freely in there. And I'm going to iterate the design as I go and as it gets better, right? But yeah, that's that on my stuff. So let's talk about when this stuff is due. So the last day of class is the 15th. That's when it's due, right? The last day of class, 15th, it's due on the 15th. Turn in a PDF, an image mood board, your JPEGs, all that stuff that you've already been doing in inside of Discord, right? Like none of this stuff that I'm giving you now is new. You're either taking the thumbnails that you already have, creating something with it, or starting fresh and then picking the best one and then going from there. All right. So upload it to Brightspace and then you upload the other stuff to Discord for feedback. All right. And then don't forget a good naming convention, last name, and then first name, final proposal. Last name, first name, underscore, final proposal, or final, and then this is totally the final one, and I'm not uploading any more finals. It's like, nah, that last one wasn't the final. I'm joking. But yeah, there's like a running meme of like never ever put final on anything you're doing because you just jinked yourself into like 30 more changes. That used to be like a running joke in the office in the studios where I used to work. It's like, yeah, oh yeah, this is the final, right? This was the final. It's almost like when I used to do it, I'm like, I'm trying to will this to be the final, but the client's like, no, not the final. So yeah. Tips for success. Sorry, a little tongue tied. Tips for success. Choose a project you are genuinely excited about. Your passion will show. I know I was like smiling ear to ear talking about my project, and like it's something I'm passionate about. It's something I care about. And the reason that I care about it is because it's for my daughter, my son, and it's hopefully something that they'll enjoy for a long, long time. Avoid vague ideas. Be specific in your world building and design choices, right? Look at, provide a variety of thumbnails before committing to one direction. Explore. That's the exploratory phase. Your thumbnails, you get to explore big, small, thin, long, tall. You know, is it a bulky character? Is it a slender mage like character? Is it sly? Like a thief or an elven, a dark elf or something like that. You know, these are the things that you should be thinking about whenever you're creating your characters. And then look at professional studios, concept art for inspiration, the Riots of the world, the Blizzards, the Bungies, the Disneys, the Pixars. Like you know, there's a reason those guys are staples for a reason. Right? Because they know what they're doing. They do it well. They do it right. And they don't skimp out. So anything that you can glean from their process, anything that you can glean from their characters, feel free. As long as you're not stealing, using AI to create it, we're fine. All right. This proposal sets the foundation for your entire final piece. Take your time, right? You've got a couple of weeks to knock this out. You've got this week, next week, and then, so you got 3 weeks. 3 whole weeks. It's a lot of time for one piece. So like 3 weeks for one piece. Listen, hey, 3 weeks for one piece. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. You can scold me now. But 3 weeks for yeah, I did it again. All right. So yeah, that's the idea. So from me and Luffy to you, this is your final project. Enjoy. It's been a pleasure. Definitely post your work inside of Discord. Definitely post what you're working on inside of there, inside of Brightspace as well. If you've missed any of the assignments, upload it up. You've got till December 15th, right? Like that's pretty much the cutoff date for everything if you want it to be graded. And if you just want feedback in general in life and stuff, feel free to message me. I'm always available, right? Like I'm not going anywhere. This is what I do. I'll be here next semester as well. I don't know if I'll be teaching Concept Art 2. I might be going back to teaching Concept Art 1, the basics. And if you want to take the basics with me, it's your boy Ty. It's Concept Art 2, and I look forward to seeing your final pieces. Man, I appreciate you guys. Have a great rest of your day. One piece.